First up on this edition of Straight at 8, big breaking news coming in. Enforcement Directorate has now summoned Subhash Chandra, Naresh Goyal and Sameer Gehlaut. This with regards to the investigations that it's conducting as far as the banking scam is concerned. Remember, many of these are the companies, the corporates who have taken loans from Yes Bank. Let's go across to my colleague Shravan Sen for more details. Shravan, big names now being called, summoned by the ED. We'll connect with Shravan in just a bit, but Subhash Chandra, Naresh Goyal of Essel Group and Jet Airways respectively, and Sameer Gehlaut of Indiabulls Group all have been called in, presumably for questioning as far as the Yes Bank scam is concerned. Remember, this is coming close on the heels of a fresh summon also being issued to Anil Ambani, who had skipped his previous summon. Shravan is live with us now. Shravan, take us through this big development coming in. All right, before we connect to Shravan, let's go across to my colleague Niranjan, also joining us over the phone line. Niranjan, very big names now finally being summoned by the ED.
Yes. Shivani, this is big breaking news. In fact, Republic TV picking up big scoop. Very big names being summoned. Naresh Goyal of Jet Airways, Subhash Chandra of SR, Sameer Gehlaut of Indiabulls. I think Sameer Gehlaut is a big name because when you look at the loans that were taken by Indiabulls from Yes Bank, they in fact, as per reports, have the second biggest loan with Yes Bank. So we're just waiting for Shravan to come live. Shravan will be live any minute now, and the moment Shravan comes live, I will hand it over to him. But Sameer Gehlaut being summoned is very, very big. Indiabulls' Sameer Gehlaut has been summoned by the Enforcement Directorate. We have a confirmation now, along with Naresh Goyal of Jet Airways and Subhash Chandra, parliamentarian and industrialist who runs, of course, a big media group.
Absolutely. At least three big groups now that have defaulted on their loans or have been big corporates that have taken massive loans from Yes Bank now in the net. Niranjan, I just want to continue with you. Sameer Gehlaut of Indiabulls. There is, of course, Naresh Goyal as far as Jet Airways is concerned. Subhash Chandra of the Essel Group. I believe Shravan is with us now. Shravan, what more can you tell us?
Well, a confirmation coming in from our top sources within the Enforcement Directorate, a massive crackdown by the Enforcement Directorate beginning from 17th. We are now given to understand on 17th of March you have the Wadhwas of DHFL. They have been summoned. On the 18th, Naresh Goyal of Jet Airways, he has been summoned, as well as Subhash Chandra of Essel Group. He's been summoned on the 18th. Then on the 19th, Anil Ambani and Kerkar of Thomas Cook, they have also been summoned. On the 20th of March, Sameer Gehlaut of Indiabulls has been summoned. On 21st, Gautam Thapar of the Avanta Group, he has been summoned. So the days to come, as far as the Yes Bank scam is concerned, Enforcement Directorate has now stepped up that entire investigation. Remember, it is now no longer limited to DHFL, which was basically named in the FIR. You have other companies that have been, that have a loan exposure from Yes Bank, be it Anil Ambani's group, that is about 14,000 crore. That's the loan exposure that's basically come under the scanner. 8,400 crore as far as Essel Group is concerned. They are now under the scanner. What the Enforcement Directorate is essentially doing at this point in time is that all the loans that have been granted during Rana Kapoor's tenure, which basically stands at about 30,000 crore rupees, that has now basically come under the scanner. In fact, the Enforcement Directorate has already told the court that they have accounted for 20,000 crore rupees loans that were granted, but 10,000 crore rupees loan that has gone unaccounted. So as far as these groups are concerned, Essel Group, Jet Airways Group, Anil Ambani's group, and also, for that matter, Indiabulls. Now, they all have basically come under the scan of the Enforcement Directorate. The top honchos of each of these companies have now been called in for questioning. Very important to point out here, Shivani, it's now no longer
Shravan, I want to ask you though,
CFOs
is it just to, investigate further just what were the dealings like that, during the Rana Kapoor tenure that the ED wants to get to the bottom of? Could this also be about recovery at all?
Well, Shivani, recovery comes at a much later stage. This is not the time when they would be really concerned about the recovery of this particular loan, because what is very important for the Enforcement Directorate to find out right now, whether at all there was any quid pro quo. That's very important. Secondly, money laundering, whether at all these groups which have got the loan from Yes Bank, what did they really do with that loan? On what basis were the loans granted in the first place? So all of that is now going to be scrutinized by the Enforcement Directorate. This entire long list of bad loans that were basically put out by the RBI, the details that were basically given by RBI to the Enforcement Directorate as well as the Central Bureau of Investigation, we are now given to understand that all such loans during the entire tenure has now basically come under the scanner. That's very important to point out. So you're looking at overall period, be it from 2010 all the way to 2018 and 19, we're given to understand all of it basically comes under the scanner. Remember, the predicate offense, which is mentioned in the FR, is only 2018 and 2019. But what the Enforcement Directorate is now doing is going back and understanding the entire scheme of bad loans, because this perhaps is the worst kept secret of India Inc. as to how these companies, which were not doing well, despite that loans were basically granted, what did they really do with the loan? That's very important to point out. And what about the repayment of these loans? Because if you purely go by the statements that have been put out, be it Indiabulls, be it Reliance Group, all that they have essentially been trying to establish so far, they've been saying that, look here, there have been zero exposure to Yes Bank. We have done our job and the matter is over. That's what most corporate houses have been maintaining at this point in time. But if you purely dive deep into the account books, you'll understand that there are several questions that are being raised as to how the loan they were receiving from Yes Bank, and then there is also allegations that have been leveled, which are certainly being probed by the investigating agency as to what were they doing with that money. What were they doing with the money that they were getting from Yes Bank? How was it being diverted? Because most of these loans, it has now turned to become NPA, or it's basically become large loans which have become bad loans. Now, that's the allegation that is being leveled by the Enforcement Directorate as well as the Central Bureau of Investigation. Both the agencies, now this is a massive crackdown from both the agencies. In fact, remember when the Central Bureau of Investigation on Friday filed a fresh FIR, simply going by that FIR, remember for the first time, in that particular FIR, they have made a mention of Indiabulls Housing Limited, that very company that came under the scanner of the Central Bureau of Investigation. And I'm purely going by the FIR of CBI, in which they were basically made a mention that, look here, there is a property called 40 Amrita Shergill Marg property. In that, how did the money, Bindu Rana Kapoor, how did she get that money? They suspect that it has come from this corporate house, and that corporate house is now been under the scanner of the Central Bureau of Investigation. Today, we are given to understand that Enforcement Directorate has also now stepped in. Enforcement Directorate has sent out these summons. So starting from 17th, Shivani, all the way till the 21st, almost all the top honchos of these companies, all of them have basically been called in. It will begin with, on the 17th, the Wadhwas of DHFL. In fact, they are already an accused in this particular case, named as an accused in the FIR. On the 17th, that's how it will begin. On the 17th, you will have Wadhwans of the DHFL being questioned. And the very next day, you would have Subhash Chandra of the Essel group, as well as Naresh Goyal of Jet Airways. He will be called in for questioning. They all will have to appear before the Enforcement Directorate's Mumbai office, where this case is now being probed. So, at the pace that this investigation is actually happening right now, it is certainly commendable, given the fact that this is right now, what is happening is uncovering India Inc.'s worst kept secret.